Experts say there are about 1,000 drug overdose deaths every year in Kentucky. The U.S. Attorney's Office is trying to change that by putting more drug dealers in jail. So they're asking coroners for help. But as investigative reporter Miranda Combs tells us, many coroners say there's a problem with what prosecutors want them to do.
It's hard to look at. It's so hard.
She only pulled these pictures out because we were coming.
I like it when it's put away, but then I feel guilty and then I bring it out. It tears me down because I know he's in there and he's not going to come back.
He was 28, Rosemary Baum's only child.
It's a darkness, a cloud, isn't it? Just doesn't go away. Really, it don't.
In April of 2013, Johnny Mac Baum died of a heroin overdose. Federal prosecutors were able to get a 20-year enhanced prison sentence for the drug dealer. It's not a murder charge, but federal drug trafficking laws allow prosecutors to pursue a sentence of 20 years to life when a victim, as far as federal prosecutor Jason Parman is concerned, dies from the drugs given by a dealer.
It's a game changer when you're starting at 20 years and moving up from there.
We want them to know that when they're out peddling this poison, there's a very strong likelihood that if one of their victims happens to die, that they're going to spend the rest of their life in a federal prison.
Recently, U.S. Attorney Kerry Harvey and his prosecutors have put multiple drug dealers behind prison bars for overdose deaths, having to prove that the drug distributed by a dealer caused the death.
If we're going to try to deter those folks from making the decision to distribute a drug that's going to kill people around them, they need to know that there's a severe punitive repercussion at the end of the line.
But that line, federal prosecutors say, needs to start with a crime scene.
In fact, a lot of times it's treated more as an accident scene, and so we lose a lot of evidence really in the first couple of hours after the death.
And when overdoses are treated as accidents, most are not autopsied.
We're always behind the 8 ball, if you will, if we don't have an autopsy. Conventional
wisdom has been that you simply can't go forward and you can't win one of these cases without an autopsy.
But it does happen, and in fact, Parman and his team recently convicted a Clay County man for causing an overdose death and sent the dealer to prison without an autopsy. But that's not an ideal situation.
The purpose of an autopsy is to find the cause of death.
I spoke to the coroners in both Clark and Scott County. Scott County says they have about 1 overdose death every month. Clark County had 9 last year. They say they always treat overdose deaths as crime scenes, but as for the need for autopsies, well, they say it depends.
My thought is you don't need an autopsy on all overdose deaths.
Scott County Coroner John Goebel and Clark County Coroner Robert Gayhart believe in most cases a toxicology report is enough evidence to prove a cause of death.
Why do that to a body? Why do an autopsy to a body when you know the heroin killed them?
I mean, I understand, prosecutors want everything they can get, and there's nobody that wants traffickers off the street any more than the 2 guys you're sitting here talking to. Because, I mean, we see the effects of it. We meet with the families. We see the kids are left without parents, and the parents is left without children.
Well, everybody just loved him. Yeah, he was definitely loved.
Rosemary's son was autopsied, a big help for prosecutors in the case against his dealer, and a small victory for his mother, now without a son. Parman does say they are working on educating first responders on the importance of treating overdoses as crime scenes and doing autopsies. He says they've been working with law enforcement and talking to coroners associations. Guys.
So what has been this reception from these coroners that they've talked with?
Parman says very positive, and that the coroners are happy to move into a direction where they're going to be able to start solving a lot more of these cases. So.
A lot more people working together.
Mm-hmm.
Miranda,
Thanks, Miranda.
Sure.